What if I told you that before the Wright Brothers' legendary first flight at Kitty Hawk, there was another journey, one so risky, so painstaking, and so fragile that, without it, the first powered flight would never have happened? This is that untold story, how two quiet brothers from Ohio hauled their delicate flying machine across the country, by train, by boat, and by wagon, just to reach the windswept dunes of the Outer Banks. In late summer 1903, Dayton, Ohio was a world apart from any notion of powered flight. Picture it: a cramped bicycle workshop on West 3rd Street, its air thick with sawdust and lamplight. Inside, Wilbur and Orville Wright hovered over their invention, a fragile lattice of spruce, ash, and muslin that looked more like a child's oversized kite than humanity's future. Everything was on the line. Months of testing, building, and rebuilding boiled down to this: would their machine survive not just a single flight, but the trip to get there? They didn't choose Kitty Hawk by accident. They needed strong, steady ocean winds, something Dayton could never provide. But transporting a prototype airplane in 1903 was like shipping a porcelain chandelier across a battlefield. One bad jolt, one stray nail, and the dream of powered flight would shatter before it ever left the ground. All through August, Wilbur and Orville worked furiously. They dismantled their beloved flyer piece by piece. Wings carefully unbolted. The engine lifted free, wrapped like a newborn in straw and oilcloth. Each part was numbered and noted so it could be rebuilt far from home, under foreign skies and on foreign sands. Outside, neighbors gawked. They knew the Wrights as the bicycle boys, always tinkering. But this? Crates and crates of strange wood and fabric. Rumors spread that these men actually thought they could fly. Most dismissed it as a curiosity or a fool's errand. The brothers kept their silence. They were not showmen. No triumphant headlines yet, just whispered doubts and private hopes. Every crate was sealed, every rope pulled tight. The flyer's future now depended on a railway conductor and a series of deals made under vague terms like experimental apparatus. The Wrights never mentioned airplane. They didn't want laughter, or worse, a refusal to ship such a ridiculous thing. On a crisp morning, a hired wagon arrived at their workshop. The crates, each one a piece of their dream, were hoisted onto the flatbed. As the wheels rolled over Dayton's gravel roads, the brothers followed, hearts pounding at every bump. If a single box fell, it could ruin everything. Soon, the train station came into view, its platform a gateway to another world. They negotiated passage with the station master. "Just some machinery," they said. The man shrugged, accepted their fee, and the crates vanished into a dim freight car. When the train pulled out, the brothers took seats in the passenger section. Outside the window, fields and towns rolled by. Ohio farmland gave way to new landscapes, each mile a gamble. On board, everyone else seemed relaxed, half asleep. But Wilbur and Orville sat tense, imagining what jostling might be happening to their crates in the cargo car behind. Each time the train stopped, Charleston, Chillicothe, Wilbur would step off and crane his neck for a glimpse. Just locked doors, nothing more. They pressed south and east, connecting through larger hubs, following tracks toward an unfamiliar coast. They hardly spoke. Days blurred together. A single derailment, a heavy-handed porter, or unexpected rain seeping into the freight car would end this story before it began. The air grew heavier, more humid. After days on the rails, they arrived in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Here, the train's roll ended. The crates were unloaded onto a small, rugged steamer. The port workers handled each box with casual strength, not knowing these crates held the blueprint of history. The boat churned across the Albemarle Sound, its engine coughing against greenish water and shifting tide. Seabirds circled overhead, crying as if at a funeral or a birth. It was hard to tell. The flyer's future balanced on a deck wet with salt spray. Orville's gaze never left those crates. One strong wave could send them sliding, splintering, drowning their dreams in brine. But fate was kind. They made it across, docking at a remote shoreline with little more than a few shacks and a wooden pier. Now came the hardest stretch. No trains, no paved roads, just mule-drawn wagons and sand, sand, sand. They lugged the crates over makeshift paths, pushing wheels free when they sank into dunes. The sun scorched their necks. Bugs swarmed. It felt primitive, raw, like dragging the future through a prehistoric landscape that refused to yield. Still, they pressed on, step by careful step. Then, cresting a rise, they saw it. The Atlantic Ocean spread out before them, endless and shimmering, as if waiting for their invention. The dunes, the steady breezes, everything they had chosen Kitty Hawk for, was now visible, tangible. Exhausted but resolute, they guided their wagon load toward a small camp. Locals greeted them with curiosity, remembering these odd brothers who had once tested gliders here. Now they returned with something more ambitious. In the fading light, the Wrights finally set the crates down. Their beloved machine had survived a journey by wagon, by rail, by boat, and by wagon again. They were here. Tomorrow, they would open these crates and begin the next stage. But for now, they breathed the salty air, listened to the quiet hush of distant waves, and felt the steady wind that would soon lift their invention into history. This was the forgotten journey of the flyer, the unsung prelude to powered flight. Before the world knew their names, before the engine roared, Wilbur and Orville Wright had won a different kind of battle. Not against gravity, but against the stubborn logistics of getting their fragile dream to the right place at the right time. If this story sparked your curiosity, then trust me, we're only just getting started. Here on this channel, we'll continue unearthing the hidden chapters of our past, the secret corners of history that most textbooks overlook, and we won't stop there. Together, we'll dive into the what-ifs and alternate paths that could have changed everything. So if you're ready for more discoveries, more insights, more untold tales, and more daring leaps into the unknown, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and join our community of curious minds, eager to rewrite what we thought we knew. Our next adventure begins soon. Don't miss it.